And so he's like, offer your son three things. He'll get a good education. I teach him everything I know about basketball, and he'll be a gentleman, right? Those are the three things that he was offering. And, we were like, well, this is going to be a short conversation. And, eventually my brother and Coach Knight get into like a big tiff. And so my brother challenges
to the point where
Coach.
They're taking off, Coach getting ready to.
Yeah, my brother challenges Coach like, hey, we can take this outside. Coach Knight said, all right. And started rolling up his sleeves, right? And everybody is like, oh, no, the whole room is like, no, you can't do this. And so I look over at my mom, and my mom is like this. Right? And, she ended up sending me to Indiana. But Quinn to this day says to me, the thing that he regrets most is that when you first went down to school, that he wasn't there.
Right.
I think Quinn was.
Yeah, he's playing in some kind of tournament.
Yeah. And he said he still feels bad about Larry not being there for Larry the first 2 weeks or so that he was at school at Indiana, because he still feels that had he been there, we'd be talking about it.
What happened in those 2 weeks? What transpired?
Can you imagine him and Coach Knight together with Quinn Buckner?
No, I can't.
It would have been. I think the basketball gods were like, "No, we can't let this happen."
Well, I wanted to go Kentucky, but Kentucky quit recruiting me, so it was down to Indiana State and IU. So I went to IU. Financially, I couldn't stay.
Okay,
Reggie, I just couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. It wasn't I was homesick or I didn't like the coach. One thing about me, I always said the coach is coach and the players play. Whatever they tell you, you got to do. You might not like it, but you got to do it. That's what they do. Right. That's their expertise. I don't think me and Coach Knight would have had a problem, because I never had a problem with my coach. When I got to Indiana State, they were talking about me going to junior college. I go, what? I'm not going to junior college. So I sort of played a role, and they got real serious. So I said at the end, look, I'm not doing that. I got another place I can go. I had other colleges after me, but I wasn't letting them recruit me because I wanted to go to Indiana State then. Well, they came and watched me play in the summer. We played the Indiana High School All-Star team. I worked all day, put up hay all day, went up there, and had a monster game. All of a sudden, they didn't talk about going to junior college.
Bird inside. College basketball's player of the year, Larry Bird.
I don't know about you guys. You guys are champions. You guys have won at the highest level. I never won a championship, so there's games that I always think about.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
That we could have won.
Let me tell you, Rich, I don't think about the wins. I always think about the loss.
Okay.
Yeah, I think everybody's like it.
Perhaps we've never seen a final game with two greater individual players than Larry Bird, the player of the year from Indiana State, and the magic man from East Lansing, Urban Johnson.
Here's what happened in '79. We played DePaul, and it was a tough game. And I hit 16 out of 19 shots, I think it was. We win by 2. And I know Michigan State's a lot better than DePaul.
Right.
So we had a day in between, we practiced, and I was sitting there thinking, man, I got to score 40 points, 45 points this game. I got to be on. I got to be at my best, or we have no chance of winning this game. And I wasn't.
It's all over. Michigan State University, national champions, 1979.
That was a big letdown, because I thought I could rise to that occasion.
Right.
And keep us in it and maybe get it at the end. And they were a talented team. They had some really good players.
Imagine the Bucks did a great job on Larry Bird in the zone denying the ball.
Yes, Coach gave us a good game plan to go against Larry Bird, and all we had to do was go out and do it. And if we did it, he said we would win. That's what we done.
But we got our shot. We got our shot to play for a national championship, and it was a 10 or 12 point game the whole way. But we just couldn't. That would have really been nice for not only Indiana State, but for the city, Terre Haute, and everybody. That would have been great. We had a chance. We had a chance to win.
I feel I'm an adopted Hoosier. You're an adopted Hoosier via Chicago.
Yeah.
You are a true Hoosier. Your impression of Indiana basketball.
So when I first, I'm coming from Chicago, and I go to Bloomington, Indiana. The basketball, I'm going to say spirituality of Indiana, you feel it when you walk into any gym, whether it be the Hyper, the recreation gym, or any building that has a gymnasium. there's a religious spirituality about the game that you have to honor.
Sure.
And in Indiana, everybody can shoot.
Yes.
People do not miss open shots. There's a spirituality about
I
the
think
game.
the coolest thing for me about Indiana basketball was on my days off when we weren't playing for the Pacers was going to those high school games on Friday and Saturday nights. Those smaller arenas that may hold, 250, 500 people.
Yeah.
And there's, 1,000 people in there and everyone's standing up the whole game. Those are awe-inspiring moments to see these, because this is their NBA championship for some of these high school kids.
High school, it was crazy because our gymnasium held 2,700, and we get probably 35 in there every year. College, I think we see capacity about 10,000, and they could have got 15,000 there in Terre Haute back then. But back when I was a kid, we had basketball courts all over our town. And if you went out in the country, there'd be a basketball court
on a barn somewhere.
I mean, that's the way it was.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, that's what basketball is all about. Community coming together, everybody involved. When you're in a small community, there's got to be something there to bring everybody together.
Sure.
Or everybody
Basketball does.
splinters.
Yeah.
And that's what sports does. It tries to bring people together.
Larry, you had my career right in the palm of your hands. Had you handled that press conference differently, right? You could have just Larry did us a huge solid.